What's up, YouTubes? I'm just out here to get a little nature time in, maybe do some foraging if I can find anything. That's something great we should all be out doing, is learning about our own food, where it comes from, where to find it. So when this money thing collapses, you're gonna wish you knew. But anyway, I'm here to talk about perhaps a greater problem in our country, or maybe it's the root of all of it. And that is the collapse of the family unit and the home, which actually I've heard former President Donald Trump talk about. And love him or hate him, he's addressing some pretty serious issues. And I don't know if, hey, is this milkweed? Those are cool. I think it might be. Love him or hate him, he's addressing some stuff that's legit. And I'll tell you what, we have no men in our homes now. We have no men in our country. But a big thing that happens is men will produce babies. They'll impregnate these women, and then they bounce during the pregnancy or during the early childhood of their kids. And now you have single parent homes, and a lot of the dads don't even stick around to do any of the raising with co-parenting. In fact, many end up institutionalized in prisons or rehabs or all the above. And this has led to tragically few men. What is my definition of a man? Well, call me old-fashioned, but I go with a biblical male. That doesn't mean anything about a gender stereotype as far as what type of job I work or anything like that. But what it does go into, there are certain things that we're supposed to teach our children. And without a mother and a father, it's very difficult for the child to get the full, well-rounded lesson, whether it be a son or a daughter. And the thing is, there are a number of reasons that we're seeing low sperm counts and crazy shifts in gender norms in our country. And the thing is, a lack of, let's look at it this way. There's a biological, a physical reason. Then there's a cultural, a mental reason for all of this. Hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Awesome, thank you. God bless. A number of reasons, and I want to start with the cultural. An absence of a father in the home, so you don't have a strong male figure, and that weighs on the psyche of a young person as they develop, start forming an identity. And then we'll start there. That's simple enough to see how that impacts somebody. But then we have the physical stuff going on. And let's just say, we won't get into too technical in this video, but there are chemicals in our, they're used in our plastics, and those seep into our food or our environments. Even something as simple as laundry detergent and what you're wearing every day. And some of these chemicals in the laundry detergent have shown to be hormone blockers, as well as certain herbicides. The number 2 most commonly used herbicide in the United States, which seeps into all of our food sources, lower sperm count, which is contributing to blocking hormones and biologically, physiologically altering something which will anatomically end up altering gender expression. And we're seeing this huge movement of trans people and an increase in the homosexual population. And the thing is, you could say, well, those homosexuals and trans people always existed, and now they just culturally feel safe to come out. I don't agree. But even if that were the case, there's a serious problem in that we're going to see a decline in birth rates. And I'm not saying that we're not overpopulated, right? But we're going to see in the next couple generations crazy shifts. Now, is this a Darwinian sort of a survival of the fittest, in which certain types of people are simply not going to reproduce and thereby not pass their genetics? Perhaps. But as a spiritual human and a Christian, I have to look and say responsibly, there are certain agendas, you may call them, that I need to push. And one would be having fathers in households, And that's got to be my main one right now. So where do I start? With myself. I need to become a biblical man. And I need to, if I make children, which I have not yet, and I'm getting old, if and when I do, I need to stick around and I need to train up the next generation. Because, look, you're not a man if you got some other man raising your kids, unless you're such a troubled man that temporarily you have somebody more competent and more capable raising your kids. Sorry, I normally do my cardio and stuff. This is a hill. I normally do my cardio without talking. What I was saying, it is a manly move to be able to admit, right now I'm unfit to raise these kids and I got someone else doing it. But otherwise it would seem to me to be a relatively shameful thing to be making these kids and not raising them. So it starts at home. We need to fix the home. Once the household's in order, it'll spill out into the community. We'll have an orderly community. Until then, look at the chaos we're seeing, right? So get out there, be a man. And if you're a woman watching this, or a young lady, who you call a girl, seek somebody who is strong, confident, supportive, loyal, loving, and through those characteristics will be there for you. They need to have fruit. They need to bear fruit. Men should look a certain way. They should be loving. And look in 1 Corinthians 13 and just start to familiarize yourself. I'll let you look it up. Familiarize yourself with the fruit of the Spirit. Kindness, goodness, gentleness. I said I was going to let you look it up, but self-control is in there. And being driven by the whims of what we want here and now and lacking self-control, it's not a good thing. And if I have some crazy lustful thought, hey, is that a reishi? Clifton gets poisoned on air. No. Reishi, I don't know how to say it. Listen, if we lack self-control and we let these, desires as they crop up, like my lust was alcohol, and I'll leave you with this. It wasn't good to give into that every time, I was being driven, and that became my idol. And I placed it before God, what God had for me. And we can do that with any of these things that I'm talking about, and we can let it get carried away. And doing that with anything is not good. We need to be fairly stoic and think logically. So God bless you all. I'll leave you with that.